Hey, it's Matt Brown, and we're going to do Francis Farmer from In Utero in this one. So this one, every string is toned down a half step, and we're in the key of G sharp minor to start off with. So I'll play the first riff for you. It goes like this. Okay, so what we're doing is we're sliding into a G sharp 5 power chord. So that's frets 4 and 6, just 2 strings. Doing that for a full measure in eighth notes, palm muting with downstrokes. And then the next chord is an E5. So we're just going to do that for half a measure of eighth notes, and then slide into a G5 for half a measure of eighth notes. So all together. And then that last measure repeats again. And then the riff starts over. So the whole riff. So then there it starts over again. And at this point we're sliding into a 3-string G5 and letting go of the palm muting and kind of accenting the chord. So that's your G5, 3, 5, 5. And alright, so let's talk about the other guitar part that's going on underneath this. So the other guitar part is just sliding the 5th of the chord to the 5th of the next chord. So what that would be your G sharp to E5. That's a slide from 6 to 2. And then your next slide is going to be let's see. It's going to be a 5 to 2. So those are the slides that are going on underneath of the main rhythm part. All right. So what happens next is the distortion comes on, and both guitars are doing the same thing. Here's the rhythm. And then we're back to that main riff. So slowly, this is with the B5 chord, that's 5th string root, frets 2, 4, 4. So I'll play the rhythm slowly. 2, ready, go. Alright, so that little chord thing at the end, you're doing a 2-string F sharp 5 to a 2-string G sharp 5. So that's frets 2 to 4 to frets 3 to 5. And then right when the G sharp 5 chord hits, you're back to the clean sound. Alright, so let's move on and talk about what happens next. So at this point, the main guitar is doing the same thing. Now, the secondary guitar is doing this kind of thing. So it's just palm muting the low root note of each chord. And then he's doing the slide there. Alright, and then you're going to have the thing with the distortion again, and then back to our clean tone. Back to the distortion part. And then at this part, we're going to leave the distortion on for the main riff. So let's kind of move on. And what happens here between the guitar parts is kind of weird and important to talk about. So let's look at that. So as I was saying, the main guitar is going to do the riff the same, just with distorted. Some of the palm muting gets a little bit lighter during this part, though. So I'll just play through this section up into the chorus, and hopefully you'll see kind of what I mean. So here we go. So, not a whole lot different stuff there to talk about. Pretty much the same, just with distortion. Now, what the other guitar does, starting at where the B5 happens, it's kind of hard to tell whether this was a mistake or whether he did this on purpose. But what you have is this. So he's playing the wrong chords, wrong quote. So instead of doing a F sharp G to G sharp, he's doing E5 F sharp to G sharp 5, like. And this is where you have some feedback that comes in the background. The feedback pitch is a C. So, I mean, you could, just produce that as a harmonic on the guitar and it'll get the job done. And then, again, another feedback pitch of C in the following measure. And then that guitar is back to the... which is how we transition into the chorus. All right, so let's look at that chorus transition. All right, so the chorus transition is, it's the B5 thing that leads back and forth between the clean sections of the verse. The first measure of it anyway. So let's look at the first measure. We have this. So that rhythm is a quarter, then a dotted eighth and 16th, and then 4 eighth notes. Now, the next measure, we're going to switch to an inverted B5. So this is frets 2, 2, 4, and 4. So it's got a thicker sound. So this measure goes like this. And so then we're going to take that inverted B5 up just one fret to C5/G. So that's 3, 3, 5, 5. So I'll do this little transition again. And then the chorus starts there on a C sharp 5 with a G sharp in the bass. All right, so I'll play the chorus for you. Not the whole thing. I'll do the first half of it, and then we'll break down the ends separately. So here's how this goes. Alright, so that's the riff. We're doing a C sharp 5 chord there, to an E5 with a B in the bass. So that's 7, 7, 9, 9. Coming down to a D5/A. That's 5, 5, 7, 7. So the chord progression. And then as a little transition between the D5/A and the next chord, I would just hit the open 4th and 5th strings. And so we're coming down to a B5 with an F sharp in the bass. And so the way he does this chord is he's kind of alternating between the 5th, 4th, and 3rd strings and then the low 6th string, like. And then the riff starts again. So you have that B to C5 to C sharp 5 chromatic walk-up thing again. All right, so when the chorus ends, instead of doing the walk-up from the B, C sharp, or B, C, C sharp thing, what we're going to do is this. Alright, So the last time of the chorus, we're not going to do the walk up, the B to C sharp type thing. After the B, we're going to walk down actually. So you get this. Alright, so that is a B chord. So that is frets 2, 4, 4, 4 on your inner 4 strings. Chromatically going through a B flat chord, so just going down a fret, and then to an A chord. And then we're going to go back up from the A to the B and pass through the B flat again. So. And then at this point, we're going to do a big G5 power chord. So that is, you've got 3 fifth strings muted, you have string 4, open, open string 3, and then 3 and 3 are the frets on the top. And then the F sharp 5, that kind of walk up to start the verse again. Alright, so we've covered the verse, the verses, the other remaining verses. There's not anything new to talk about. The chorus is the same. It's played the same anyway. The riffs are the same, so don't really need to talk about that. So the only part that's really left is the kind of instrumental breakdown section. So the way the chorus ends and it goes into that section is a little bit different. So we'll talk about that. I'll start from the B to the B flat to A type part. So that's how it goes. You just have, instead of the, you just have, and then we're into the next part. Alright, so this bridge part, I'll break down the little first section. So, I'll talk about that. That's starting with a 3-string G sharp 5. So frets 4, 6, 6. And then we're going to do a low open E. Then we're going to slide into an E chord here. So that's played on your inner 4 strings, fret 7, 9, 9, 9. And then the open 4th and 5th strings get played as a transition back to the first chord. Alright, so then the next part is this. So that's full measure of your C sharp 5 chord, 3 strings, frets 4, 6, 6. And then on beat 1 of the next measure, you're going to play that chord again. And then you're going to change the bass note of the chord to a D note. So just put your middle finger on the 5th fret. It's a really ugly sound. So that's the first bit. And then you're going to do a B5 to an A5. Okay, so let's take a look at the full instrumental thing and how it transitions into the next part. So we get this. All right, so it doesn't do the B to B flat to A thing twice. It just does it once, and then goes to the G, and then to another verse. So the song ends with a chorus, and the chorus ends the way it usually does. And then what we're going to do is we're going to play that G sharp 5 there after the palm muted part. And he just slides that chord up, and does bends the strings up, and just do something like that and make it really ugly and gross if you want to imitate the recording. So, yeah, that takes care of Frances Farmer will have her revenge on Seattle, and I wonder if she's had it yet at this point. Anyway, that was a stupid comment. Sorry. Anyway, yeah, let me know if you want the tabs or, extra help with this, and I've got plenty of more lessons coming, so stick around. Thanks a lot.